I'm going to do a very important video here. I heard about this. I looked into it, this whole thing of Steven Anderson. He's being deported and banned from all these different countries out there. And I just kind of thought, oh, you know what, whatever at first. But then I started to realize, I started looking up, doing some research. I'm going to be showing it. I'm going to actually get online and show you this, the proof of this. But I'm seeing mainstream media covering this. Washington Times, NBC, the BBC, you know, very, very big news agencies covering this thing, and they're all talking about Steven Anderson being King James Bible only, and how he's so dangerous and whatever else. There's something very real going on here. So I'm going to take you to the internet here, and we're going to look at some of this stuff, some of the evidence, and I think we need to be very concerned about this. Alright, here we are at Sanderson 1611. Here's his videos talking about how he's going to go to South Africa. And up here you have, this is where it begins. He says he was banned from the United Kingdom. And then he says, well, I can't go to South Africa. I'm going to have to go to Botswana. Up here he's in Botswana. And here his wife is basically asking people, please support us. Please help us because Steve had to. And she keeps calling him pastor. It's kind of weird. I know a lot of Catholics will do that. They don't, well, you know, wives won't even call their husband by his name. They'll say pastor, like this, some kind of reverential title, when the word pastor is just a description in the King James Bible. It's never given as a title, but another story. But I found it interesting. I saw a comment on one of the articles I read about this whole situation, and somebody said, how is this guy, he has, you know, however many children, 9 children or something like this, and his church, quote unquote, has like 120 people in it, and yet he's flying all over the world and just, oh, I need another ticket. Okay, well, I'll leave, you know, I'll go here and I'll go there. And he's got all this money. Kind of odd. But this one here and this one here are very strange. Let me show you this. Open this thing and open them in new tabs here. Okay, let me just pause that one and this one. Now, if you know anything at all about video production, this is clearly a green screen behind him. Look at how he stands out from the screen. How it's like he doesn't blend in. Especially over here, this portion of his head. It's got to be a green screen. I mean, look at the thing. It just looks unnatural. Why isn't the tree moving? Why aren't any of these plants moving? Why are there no clouds in the sky moving? I mean, isn't that kind of odd? I mean, to me, that thing looks completely like a green screen. You know, the lighting is weird and things on him. I mean, it's just strange. And this one here, same thing. Again, look at how it's just like it's like he's cut out. And he's got artificial lighting on this side of his face. And again, watch the tree. It's not budging. It's not moving. Notice the outline. Now, let's compare that to one of mine where I did it outside. One of my more recent studies, right? See the plants moving? I don't look like I'm a cutout there. The water's moving. And if you pause it and you go like this, kind of fast forward, you can see the clouds moving in the background. See it? Now, I mean, just look at it. I mean, it looks totally fake. It looks completely fake. But if you look at this one where he's in the vehicle, it looks more real. What in the world is going on here? This is some kind of a PsyOp, some kind of psychological warfare type of a thing that this guy's doing. Very, very, very strange. And let me just show you another little thing here. Okay, not that one. Okay, here's the one where he's supposedly being deported. This is him in here with the blue t-shirt. and here's Paul Wittenberger beside him. Why is Steven Anderson traveling around with a professional photographer slash film guy that's worked for Hollywood? Isn't that kind of odd? And there they go. This is him supposedly being deported. Kind of weird. I mean, if he's in Botswana, and, you know, that looks like right there it probably was, I would think. I don't know. But if he's over there, why the green screen? You look the whole way through the thing, things are not changing. It's very, very, very strange. And, you know, oh, Botswana is very unfriendly to, you know, Baptist, Bible-believing Baptist type, you know, Christians. Well, here's a guy says they've been in Botswana since the fall of 2012. King James only, Baptist, the whole thing. They've been there since 2012. Why didn't he get deported? And again, I mean, let's do a Google search here. Just type in Steven Anderson. There we have BBC, NBC News. You know, let's look at this BBC article. You know, BBC News, Botswana to deport anti-gay U.S. pastor Steven Anderson. Goes down through here, but look at this. This is where it gets concerning. His church is based in the U.S. state of Arizona and describes itself as old-fashioned, independent, fundamental, King James Bible only. You see, I've been saying this for a long time. This is why I stay on this guy, because Steven Anderson he's a disinformation agent. He is counterinsurgency. They're promoting the sodomite agenda very, very strongly through the media, but that's thesis. They need an antithesis, an antithesis. That's Steven Anderson. You see? He's the new Fred Phelps. He's the new poster boy for gay hate, is what he is. And they're demonizing Bible-believing Christians through Steven Anderson, right there. The BBC, folks. The BBC has come out and celebrated the 400th anniversary of the King James Bible. And now they're saying, oh, this King James Bible only group here. See? They're associating Anderson with our movement. And he is not King James Bible only. He'll change the King James Bible if he has to make a point. I've proved that. See? This is dangerous, folks. This is very, very dangerous. It's a very dangerous thing that's being set here. All right? And let me ask you a question. All right, another thing to think about here. And again, NBC, it's just crazy. But let me ask you a question. If Anderson is such this terrible, horrible guy being deported from countries and banned from the United Kingdom and all this other stuff, why is his channel still up? I've known Christians that have spoken against the sodomite agenda, and their channels are taken down. Why is it that this guy who's being deported from countries, why is it his channel still there? And what's the deal with this room here that he's in? It's got a tiger there in the background, like I guess he's supposed to be at a motel or something someplace. There again. This whole thing is being staged. Here he is, he's speaking at a First Botswana sermon, living sacrifice unto God, and yet you go the whole way through it. It doesn't show one person except for Steven Anderson. How are we to know that this is actually him in Botswana? Something very, very, very fishy is going on here, and I don't know what it is, but it could be that they're getting ready to stage something, and they're going to use this disinfo guy to bring down persecution on Bible-believing Christians. We need to be in prayer about this, and I think that we need to start publicly coming out and renouncing Steven Anderson and saying, hey, this guy's not one of us. I mean, he's hitting mainstream media here, people. What's going on? This is very, very, very dangerous. This is a very, very bad thing. And, let me just show you another thing. which kind of tips me off as well. I'll click on one of these.
Everybody, Pastor Steven Anderson here from Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tempe, Arizona.
Hey everybody, this is Pastor Steven Anderson from Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tempe, Arizona. Click on another one.
Hey everybody, Pastor Steven Anderson here from Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tempe, Arizona. Hey everybody, Pastor Steven Anderson here from Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tempe, Arizona. Hey everybody, Pastor Steven Anderson here from Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tempe, Arizona. And hey everybody, Pastor Steven Anderson here from Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tempe, Arizona.
Why does he begin every video the same? It's almost like he's reading from a script, being told what to say. Isn't that kind of peculiar? We're dealing with a disinformation agent here, folks. We're dealing with somebody who's trying to bring persecution down upon true Bible-believing Christians. He doesn't preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. He preaches a false gospel that's just believe. And it's so funny because, oh, he hates sodomites, and yet he says all it takes for somebody to get saved is just have a profession that they believe in Jesus Christ. How does that work? He calls turning from sin, he says that that's a false gospel. And yet he preaches that sodomites are wicked and evil and whatever else. Well, if they believe, then they'd be saved according to what he teaches. See, it's just, the whole thing is fake, it's fraudulent. It's very, very dangerous. This guy is taking this thing to a new level. This is weird. Okay, this is kind of freaking me out right now, that the mainstream media is covering this guy. And, you know, you look at the thing, it looks like a green screen. The tree's not moving. The sunlight's not changing. You know, you go through it. The sun's still on the ground at the same spot. Very, very, very weird. All right, so there you have it. Some very, very weird things. I mean, definitely, it looked to me like it was at least 2 green screens there with the Botswana updates. I don't think he preached to anybody over there. It's kind of ironic too, because I told my wife about the one video I watched. He actually said that they led 65 people to the Lord, and one of them even came out to church. And I thought, that's a pretty bad failure rate actually. 64 people didn't come to church, but 1 did. I thought the book of Acts talks about, and the Lord added to the church daily such as should be saved. You see, what the devil wants right now is he wants to make King James Bible-believing Christians look like we are terrorists. Roman Catholicism is in control of the government of this country, here in America, and they're in control of the governments of pretty much every country at this point through the Jesuit order, the Knights of Malta, all these different Roman Catholic secret societies, the Knights of Columbus and things. And they're in control. But see, they don't have quite open control yet. They haven't openly taken over. Or they're going to start saying, if you speak against Catholicism, we're going to execute you as a heretic, like they did for, you know, almost the last 2,000 years. I mean, Roman Catholicism is just the ancient Roman Empire morphed into religion, is all that the thing is. They've been putting people to death for thousands of years. All right, so they're just about ready to take over. And see, Bible-believing Christians, we're not violent. We don't hate people, and we just preach, you know, that Jesus Christ died on the cross to pay for your sins. God loved the world enough to give his own son, his only begotten son. You know, we want people to go to heaven. We warn about hell so that you don't have to go there. But see, we're not going to do anything violent, so they have to raise up somebody that will, like Steven Anderson. And I saw that a long time ago, and that's why I've been spending a lot of time just watching what this guy's doing, because he is a disinformation agent. I'm convinced of it, because you look at a lot of his stands, they're not even Bible-believing stands. And you know, but he's going to be used to bring persecution to true King James Bible believers. So I think that we all need to make very clear that Steven Anderson is not part of us, and we are not part of his movement either. Persecution is coming. You know, it sounds cliche because, you know what, yes, we've been saying persecution is coming, and persecution is coming, it's serious, okay? It's getting real. All right, the sodomite agenda is being used by the Vatican. You look at it, the pedophile priests and everything over there, and they're covering it up and everything else. They're going to use the sodomite agenda. They're promoting this thing and pushing it. The Pope has been coming out and saying that sodomites are fine and whatever else, we need to accept this. And, you know, they're going to use it to go after Bible-believing Christians that say, look, the Bible plainly says it's an abomination. You can get saved, you know, but you have to turn from that sin. You can't continue in that sin if you get saved. I don't hate anybody that's a sodomite, you know, but see, they're going to use somebody like Steven Anderson. The sodomite thing, as I said in my Camtasia video, that when I was online there, you know, Steven Anderson, or excuse me, the sodomite agenda is the thesis, all right, in the Hegelian dialectical system. He's the thesis. Steven Anderson is the antithesis. They need to have an enemy. See, they set up the two system there, and then they say we need to make a compromise. See, they bring in new policies that way. So we need to come out and we need to expose this thing and openly say, no, Steven Anderson does not represent Bible-believing Christians. So that's my prayer, that's my hope. We need to get active.